You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
You gotta wet your whistle. There goes the balls again.
There go the balls again. Try to keep your pucker up.
Welcome to Podcasserole, episode 260.
Yeah, you got it right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It's almost midnight, you know.
Yeah, we're doing it like we used to.
So if we get kind of crazy.
If we get a little wacky.
It's almost midnight in Montgomery here. Don't you guys creepy old country songs?
Is that Alan Jackson, right?
Yeah. Midnight Montgomery, Thunder Rolls. Like, that shit was creepy.
Do you know what Midnight Montgomery's about? Is it about the ghost of Hank Williams?
Yeah.
Not Hank Jr.
Right, no.
He's not dead yet.
Not Bo Cephas.
If you see
Hank.
If you see the ghost of Hank Jr., he's just passed out in your backyard.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Hey, I meant to talk about this on the last Podcasserole on the Friday show.
Uh-huh.
I was part of the madness in downtown Nashville last week.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
For that last Stanley Cup game that the Predators didn't win.
Was that insane?
Even though it should have been tied. And if it was tied, they never would have took the goalie out, and we probably would have gone into overtime.
And lost.
Just my thoughts.
and then lost to
Probably,
Pittsburgh.
yeah.
Let's be real here. Come on.
But wouldn't you rather see them lose in Pittsburgh than in Nashville?
I don't know. Game 7, it would be tough for me to watch.
Yeah.
I would know that. I don't know. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
We just got outplayed. Can we be honest? We got outplayed. The refs did suck. They called some bad calls, but I think in the end we would have lost.
I agree with you.
I'm throwing it out there.
I think seeing how they performed in Pittsburgh in every game.
Right.
And that was the advantage of the seed.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh never had to win a road game to win the Stanley Cup.
Exactly.
They just had to win their home games.
Yeah. And
turns out they won one on the road.
Even at home, it wasn't. I mean, that last game wasn't well played. Just wasn't.
No. But it was fun. It was a fun ride.
Yeah.
And so I was part of the 100,000 plus people
That's awesome.
in downtown Nashville.
That's cool.
For that Predators game. That was amazing. That's a spectacle that I've never seen in downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Do you think that at this point in time, Nashville hockey is bigger than Nashville football?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
it's
odd
possible.
that's odd for the South. It's very possible.
The only watch parties that I was aware of when the Titans played in the Super Bowl was at bars.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, people say it's a bandwagon thing, but even though I was here for both, and this bandwagon of the Stanley Cup playoffs are much, much, much bigger because of the bandwagon of the Super Bowl. That could be the time we're in. That could be because they actually had games played here where the Super Bowl was in Atlanta. That could be because of social media blowing up like that, but I think it's a bigger deal
And
now.
I think part of it is, and to give you a little insight on the things that Adam and I talk about when we're actually not in front of a microphone, is the debate that you and I always have about a series versus one game.
Right, yeah.
And I think in a series like that, where you have the ebb and flow and the ups and the downs, and they just have to win one more. When you get that feeling, that just kind of grows that excitement.
You think so?
In the town.
Yeah. I think it's a little more fair to have just the one game in a designated spot.
I love a series.
Designation, though.
I love a good series.
Think about we played like the Titans against the Tennessee Titans. The St. Louis Rams fought in Atlanta. No one had a home field advantage. The best team does win at that point.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think usually the best team wins.
Yeah.
Even in a series. I can't think of like even in the World Series. Like last year, take last year for instance. The Cubs were the best team.
Yeah.
And they won the World Series. And I also think it's a difference, and you see this in other, say the National Football League, for instance, in the NFL. You know, it depends on what division you're in. I think some divisions are stronger than other divisions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's part of what happened in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I don't think the Preds division was as strong. I think the Western Conference, I don't want to say was the weakest, because I'm not going to throw words, because, I mean, they were 16th seed, and they made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
And, did pretty well in the finals. So, but you could have stronger conferences. Just a thought.
Agreed.
But I do like a series versus one game.
Really?
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, with the one game, though, I will agree, you get that big game day feel.
Yeah.
It's like a holiday.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl feels like a holiday.
Yeah.
Because it's one game on one day. And, in sports like hockey and baseball, where you get into the playoffs and you have to go through the playoffs. I mean, it's series after series after series.
I do wonder why football is the only one that does that. You would say the physicality of it, but hockey is equally or maybe even more physical than football is. I don't see too many football players missing teeth.
True.
I'd say 1 out of 5 hockey players are.
But I think they like to fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
But they
more
like to throw some punches.
Yeah, can you imagine getting bruised and thrown around and the physical regimen you have to do and getting punched in the face and then play again tomorrow?
But what do you think's going on when they all pile up on the football field? You think they're all just laying there, okay, man, you get up first, then I'll get up?
Yeah, but I think it's...
There's some punching going on and some kicking
I told you,
going on.
back even in Pee Wee football, I would pinch legs and do things and, nut shots.
Yeah. It's just a little more overt in hockey.
But I just wonder why that is the one sport that only has 16 games a season, that only has one playoff system, one championship, where baseball, hockey, I mean, everything, basketball, all have that series and 80-plus, 100-plus games a season. It's odd to me.
So stamina is probably more important in those sports.
Yeah, and I honestly think
Not
all
strength,
sports should
and I'm
go,
not saying even athletic talent, but probably stamina is more important to be a hockey player than a football player.
You as a baseball fan, wouldn't the games feel more important if they had 16 games a year? Like every pitch at that point, every single pitch would be important. Where right now when you play that many games, every pitch means nothing. You can walk 10 guys in a row. It wouldn't matter. But if you had 16 games a season, if you walk 10 guys in a row, your season could be over.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
What I find interesting about a long baseball season is it's like a sports drama, because you start out opening day and you think, oh well, this team or this that's who it's going to be, and then as the drama plays out, and say for instance, I watch the Braves. Take for instance the Braves first baseman Freddie Freeman, having a fantastic season, and then one pitch catches him in the wrist, and he's out for 10 weeks. And then now the drama of the story is when he comes back, will he be able to match what he was doing at the plate before his injury? And when you have a long season like that, you do get those stories. And then also, and I'm sure, it's the same in the NHL as it is in Major League Baseball. When you have long seasons like that, you have these players that can come out of nowhere and shine. Prime example, once again, to go back to the Braves, is Matt Adams, who's the first baseman they called up to fill in for Freddie Freeman while he's out. That guy is a monster at the plate, and it's crazy. And who knew? It's like he came out of nowhere. So I do think story-wise, in the NFL, you kind of know from after week 4, after a month. You kind of know which teams and where they're going to go. You get a good sense, and I think it's more open to all the teams in these sports where they have the long seasons.
I think so.
It does, especially in hockey. When do they start playing? At the end of September?
Yeah, it's a long season.
Isn't it the end of September?
It's around that.
1st of October?
Yeah.
And then it goes all the way to, here we are, the middle of June.
That's what's crazy. Like, to me, that's one of the most physical sports, and it's the longest season, the long playoff system, the most frequency of games. It's crazy. Yeah.
So, but it was fun. Yeah. I mean, it was. I don't think I was on the bandwagon, but I certainly watched. More games.
I'll admit I was. Yeah.
At the end of the season,
because I didn't watch one season game of the Preds this year at all, but I watched every single Stanley Cup final game and most of their playoff games. But the season, there's so many games. What's the point? So that's the problem.
Because you remember when we were hanging out, and it was during that first Blackhawks game, and when they did so well in that first game against the Blackhawks, I was like, you remember I told you, like, they're not even supposed to be in the playoffs,
right? Yeah,
and they just beat the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
What's going on? And then it just kind of kept going.
Yeah.
So yay!
Yeah. I hope the bandwagon carries on the next season. We'll see if it does.
I hope they do a viewing party for like the first game, like the first home game.
Yeah,
I would love to see. Not obviously that crowd's not going to show up. It's not going to be 100,000.
Yeah,
but I would love to see downtown full for the first home game of the hockey season.
That'd be cool.
Then you can go home, take a break. You got months.
Yeah, rest it up.
Hey, we're not the only show on the ESO network.
That's true.
There's dozens of shows.
Quite a few.
And one of them is hosted by a good friend of ours.
Yeah,
Josh. I would even say, I don't know. Is it fair to say that this show birthed that show?
Yeah. First off, 3, 4, almost 5 years ago, we had our first segment
called Collection Connection. Featuring Josh. We brought him in one day and I think he was in the whole episode, but he had his own section for about 20, 30 minutes called Collection Connection, where he talked about toys and collecting, and it was birthed from that. And
came from our canals.
Okay. That's gross. And Mike Dudley joins Josh a lot these
Right,
days, and they do Collection Connection. And you can go check out the latest episode. It's about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Love it.
It's part 1 of 2.
Part 1. I'm excited. Was there it wasn't just me. There was a delay in episodes, right?
Oh yeah, there is
Okay.
a little bit.
Was that planned?
Well, there's some vacations going on.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
So you may not get it every week.
Okay.
It's not gonna be any more than 2 weeks.
I mean, honestly, every
You get an
Thursday I
episode.
wake up, I roll over, check my stocks. I don't do that, actually. The first thing I do, I roll over and check to see if Collection Connection has been released.
Make sure we haven't been nuked.
Exactly, yeah. Speaking of that, I'll tell you a story later on. Scared the crap out of me. But I wake up, roll over every Thursday and check for Collection Connection. And last week that was not the case, and I was kind of pissy. Kind of ruined my day.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm just going to tell you.
And then you check your podcast,
Yeah.
your podcast app,
Yeah.
and you hear stuff like this.
You're looking at me like I have handed you a snake.
I'm waiting for this thing to explode. It's actually chrome. It almost looks like the ball from Phantasm a little bit,
It
man.
does, which is kind of my thing. If you'll take 2 fingers and put it around one of the dongles, I guess, or whatever you want to call that, and then go forward real fast, it really will spin pretty good. And the ball bearings in it are pretty dang good.
That's good. That's funny.
That's them talking about fidget spinners.
Oh, that's what they're talking
Yeah.
about? Oh, man.
When you take your fingers
I thought this was Collection Connection After Dark.
and you put it onto dongles,
Old CCAD.
go check out Collection Connection.
Please do it. It's a snippet of the fun you can. And it's great because Josh got multiple fidget spinners. He's on the fidget spinner train.
Apparently,
I think Mike's a hard sell. He doesn't want to go to someone's
Well,
house and pick
you
up
know.
a fidget spinner from their front porch.
I understand.
It's all good. though.
They're very available now.
Oh, at Walmart. Walmart has end caps of them.
Like every gas station you go
Yeah.
into now has fidget
I
spinners.
almost bought my third one yesterday. At Walmart. They have fancy, like, shiny light-up ones. They were great.
I can't quit you. So why were you scared? What happened?
Oh, so I'm driving the interstate today, going towards Nashville, and honestly, it's as if, like, you've been places and you hear the loudspeaker of the city's, whatever their committee's saying there's a tornado warning, and do your thing, maybe like an actual siren.
Uh-huh.
This was a person talking, like one of those scary radio warnings, saying "Take shelter immediately." Take shelter immediately. I thought North Korea happened. I thought it was.
Where was it coming from?
I was. I don't know where it came. I have no idea. But I was. This is, I guess, local talk. But driving from where we live to Brentwood and the I-65 North area around Old Hickory Boulevard, driving there, and I've no people around me were looking around. I see people in fear trying to find. It was outside of our cars, loud, very, very loud. Take shelter immediately, over and over about 5 times.
So this was a speaker on a pole somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, somehow, as if like but it wasn't. There was no tornado, nothing bad going on. It had rained hard 2 hours prior, but at that moment it was clear skies. Take shelter immediately. Terrifying. I was like, wow, this is how I'm going down. It's happening.
I had an experience. I thought they were testing their emergency.
You think that's what it was?
That's
We didn't
probably
hear.
what it
We didn't
was.
hear the test part at first.
Yeah. Our hometown, they don't have the talking. They don't have
Yeah.
the talking alert.
Uh huh.
They just have a siren.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was out mowing the grass last weekend.
Uh-huh.
Do mowing the grass.
Yeah.
I live in the suburb.
Right.
Blah blah blah. I'm an old man. I like to
Yeah.
mow the grass, and I hear, and it sounds just like a Fallout siren.
Really.
And the same thing. I'm like, oh wait, what's going on?
There it is.
It seems like a bright sunny day.
Yeah.
They were just testing the equipment. It was the tornado siren. It's the
this-
one that sounds if there's a tornado.
But the people around me were in such fear, just driving, looking around. What's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Kim
Well,
Jong.
you don't know these days.
Kim Jong.
It's a weird time we live
Yeah.
in. Do you think times are weirder now than they were 25 years ago? Or we just know
Without
know
a
more?
doubt. Without a doubt.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or we just know more?
Without a doubt.
'Cause, dude, when I was a kid, it seemed like every week a TWA plane was being hijacked
Yeah.
and sitting on the tarmac.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's the current states. I mean, like it or not, I'm not going to go too deep here, but the political status of what our country is doing, it's not normal. Even if you like it, you have to admit that's not the normal behavior. Right?
But
I mean,
not unprecedented.
I heard today, and a
Not
legitimate.
the first time we've had behavior like that
I heard
and accusations made.
from a legitimate, I think legitimate, radio source today that the possible frontrunner for the Democratic Party of 2020 could honestly be Al Franken. And if that, I see that marquee in my head of blank versus blank, and I'm, what kind of world is this?
We're Stuart Smalley.
Stuart Smalley versus Trump. I mean,
Wow.
really, they said he's already building that up and campaigning hard for it, and he's becoming a possible prime candidate for the Democratic Party of 2020.
I think that would be a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's other they need to find someone like they found Barack Obama.
Exactly, yeah.
Because there's a lot of baggage attached to Al Franken.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
And I think when you find someone like Barack Obama like they did, and I'm not saying one way or the other, I'm just giving my opinion on the way politics works. There wasn't a lot of baggage attached to him.
Right, yeah.
They had to go out and find some crazy conspiracies
True.
to try to, put against him because you couldn't find a lot of legitimate baggage. I think you can with Al Franken.
You think so? Yeah.
Well,
it's possible.
I mean,
does he have? Does he have a history?
Yeah.
He
Well,
does?
I mean, he's Stuart Smalley.
That's yeah. You make fun of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like it's Donald Trump. He got his hair cut a couple of years ago in a wrestling ring.
And look where he is now. Look at the office he works in.
So, I don't think times are any weirder. I honestly don't.
Really?
I think we just are more
In tune to it all?
in tune to it. I think. Well, I mean, think about when they made Team America.
Yeah.
North Korea was just as much a threat then as they
Right.
are today.
Yeah.
It's just we just feel it more because of how we're all connected via social media and the internet and that sort of stuff.
I wonder how much frenzy there would be if there was social media and the internet right before World War II happened, or even like during that. If people actually knew what was going on, of the prisoners and the camps happening and the actual injustice around the world, like how much different that would be. I don't know at that point if there would be a need for a draft, even in the Vietnam days. If people had that patriotism and they saw what was going on, they wanted to join. I don't know if that would happen. Even
In
though Vietnam's kind
Vietnam?
of different because the war, that wasn't, yeah.
Vietnam's not a good
But
example.
you know what I'm saying? Like a World War II thing. I think more people
World
would
War
be,
II is a pretty. I mean, there was a movement for us to be involved in World War II way
Yeah.
before we were.
Right.
And the argument, of course, hindsight's 2020 when you're looking back on something like history. Had we got involved sooner, probably Hitler would not have marched across Europe like he did.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It would be interesting to see how social media would have played into World War II.
Yeah.
Or if Hitler would he even come to power if we were connected in communication like we are today?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Would it even be possible?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
There was listen to a show called Lore, another podcast called Lore, Lore. Check it out. But it talks about weird communication and weird pen pals from a few months ago. And the first one was about, I forget the actual years, 1600s, 1700s, I'm not sure. But the very first colonies/states of the United States, when they had governors and rulers and call them what you want, officers of that state or colony, they would all be kind of winging it and not really know what's happening, just kind of fly by the seat of their pants. And they would have no idea how to do certain things with rules and regulations and guidelines and laws. So they would have a pen pal, like a connection of all the other leaders of the other colonies, and they would send off snail mail, and, they would ask a question, how do I do blank? And 2 weeks later, they would get a response of how you do blank. And that's just kind of weird, and stuff like that's a weird thought, where now, that would never happen. You would never have an elected leader not knowing what they're doing. But if you had
Are you sure?
you clearly,
Are you sure?
You are correct. But also at the same time, I can't believe I said that. I feel so bad now. Of course we would. But at the same time, you have a question within 8 seconds can be found on Google instead of a 2-week snail mail delivery. It was kind of a weird thing like that. Like
Are
how
we
much,
supposed to leave the flag up or take it down at night?
like how much technology has advanced not only our fun and our social skills, but everything, even politics, every single part of it. Everything.
It's true.
Really.
It's true.
I mean, like you said, I truly believe if there was a social media, there could be no Hitler. I think, right?
well,
I want to think that.
yeah. I mean, well,
How did we get here?
It's hard to apply the sensibilities of
We
2017
went from hockey to Predator,
I
or
know.
hockey to Hitler. How does that happen?
to 1939.
Yeah,
It's hard to do. But
yeah,
you would think that if you could be as connected then as you were now. But, dude, atrocities happen all over the world every day.
that's true. There's a lot of stuff we don't know about.
And we have
social
the
media
internet.
doesn't exist. Yeah,
And we have all that.
yeah.
So, and if you would like to write to us, you don't have to do it snail mail.
Yeah.
You can use our email address.
Yes, we can. AJP@adamandjp.com. Do that, of course, like you said, on Twitter @AdamandJP. We don't talk much about patreon.com/podcasserole. For as little as $1 a month, you can have some fun things coming your way.
Look, if you're thinking about like throwing some money to somebody's movie that they want to make,
Right.
come on.
Come on, man.
Don't do it. I'm kidding.
Or a video game. Or a book.
Oh, that's dumb. Nobody reads anymore.
No Cuphead. No Ouya.
Donate $1 to our Patreon page, patreon.com/podcastroll. Coming up right now, you can go and listen to our Wonder Woman review.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little dynamic. We don't totally agree, not so much. Can I
There's some
say
things-
this is has no merit whatsoever? But our old producer Brian, says that's the worst superhero movie he's ever seen.
Well, he's a sexist. Producer Brian hates women. So that stands to reason he would have that opinion.
That's funny.
Yeah, go get our Wonder Woman review.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do to kind of give you a little tease of what you can find on the Patreon page.
I'm your friend.
Coming up this week, we're going to take our Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review and actually put that on the feed so you can get a little taste
Yeah.
of what you're getting
That's what happens.
when you go and donate on the Patreon page.
Go check it out.
Patreon.com/podcastroll. Going up this week, though, is the first episode of the Bygone Podcast. Want to take a guess?
Can I name any podcast we worked on? Is there anything taboo?
It's pretty obvious.
Oh.
If it's one that you and I are both on.
Oh, we're both on it?
Uh-huh.
The first episode.
The first episode of...
This Must Be Pop? I'm not 8-Bit Adam.
8-Bit Adam.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good deal.
That was the first episode?
The first episode, yeah.
I could have sworn the first episode was me and Josh, The History of Nintendo. Are you sure?
I'll have to check. I'll have to check my records.
I'm just saying. I don't want any
But
Twitter
I
feedback.
think I was on
that.
the first episode of
Okay,
8-Bit
you could
Adam
have
with
been.
you.
I thought it was Josh and I.
Well, what's going up on Patreon
It's you and me.
is you and me.
Okay, that's good. That's fine then.
But yeah, if you want to send us an email, ajp@adamandjp.com, or send us a tweet @adamandjp. You could be the SOB OTW. I should say, coming up, we continue our revisit of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with 2011's Thor.
Pretty fun. I'm excited about it.
That's coming up.
I am excited.
Hey, first email comes from Isaac. Hey, guys, love the show. Do you have a favorite podcast? And what is your favorite episode of your podcast?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. What's his name, Isaac?
Isaac.
Good job, Isaac. Good question there. Do you want to go first or you want me to?
Yeah, I do have other podcasts, obviously, that I listen to. I guess my favorite, the other podcast, I like Stuff You Should Know.
Mm-hmm.
I like Fat Man on Batman,
Mm-hmm.
though I don't like Fat Man on Batman as much as I used to.
Yeah.
I liked it when it was Kevin Smith actually
Talking about Batman?
interviewing to someone, and now it's just kind of a superhero news of the week type show.
Right. When he added the co-host, I think that kind of lost some charm. To me.
Yeah.
I know he's great and he's awesome when he does, but I think he kind of lost some of it there.
What else? I could just pull up and tell you what I listen to. That would be very easy. I have my phone here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of got put on the spot. Okay, here's what I've listened to. Serial Killers. Do you listen to Serial Killers?
Is it just called Serial
Yeah,
Killers?
it's just called Serial
Oh, no,
Killers.
I probably should. I think I would like that.
Yeah. ENC's Pod of Awesomeness.
Uh-huh.
That's Edge and Christian on the WWE.
Uh-huh.
Marital Games.
That's that's on hiatus right now.
Collider.
Okay.
All shows. I listen to all the shows from Collider.
Uh-huh.
Star Trek: The Next Conversation. Anna Faris is Unqualified, though I haven't listened to an
Jeez,
episode of that
man.
in a long time. Here's the
What, is
thing
Snooki on there too?
with Alec Baldwin.
What?
That's a pretty good one.
Is it really?
The Broken Token Classic Arcade and Pinball Podcast.
Nice, yeah.
The Art of Wrestling. Talk is Jericho. Buzz Burbank News and Comment. The Flopcast. The Unbelievable Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Detective. In the Dark. Yes, Have Some. Blame Your Brothers on here.
Yeah.
Big D and Bubba's Weekly Podcast.
You have a long list there, eh?
The Earth Station 1 Podcast.
Jeez, man.
Edumacation, Collection Connection, The Nerdist, Stuff You Should Know, Smodcast, Talk Salad and Scrambled Eggs, Tell 'em Steve Dave, Fat Man on Batman, and I'm actually subscribed to Podcasserole.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, you have a lot. Mm-hmm. Wow. I have a lot of the same. Would you say? Could you say one of your favorite ones though?
Let's see. I skipped. Honestly, that list was a lot longer.
That's a long list, man.
I skipped through a lot of those.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's one on here. I don't know. I like them all equally.
Yeah, they're all your babies.
I'm gonna go. Right now, my current favorite is serial killers.
Really?
Yeah, I love listening to serial
So it's just
killers.
called that.
Yeah, it's just called serial killers.
I will be on that.
Yeah. It's produced in a strange way.
That some people, if he had been more careful, he might have realized that Mikhail's punk nature
I remember. I've heard this one.
his ragged jacket caught in the outcropping in the well. Like Veracheva, Mikhail.
I mean, every episode's about a new serial killer.
Yeah.
Actually,
Mikhail rushed to tell
they take 2 episodes per serial killer usually. But it's produced, it's so scripted in such a way
Yeah.
that the host will be like, and that's when he found the knife. And then she'll chime in, knives are used a lot by serial killers. And it's kind of scripted. But
Yeah.
the best part of serial killers is when they go to commercial. And it's, here's an example. And that's when Jeffrey Dahmer realized he had a taste for flesh. If you have a taste for something fresh, perhaps you should try Blue Apron.
Blue Apron's everywhere.
Apron delivers meals right to your home.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow,
back to serial killers.
All over podcast, Blue Apron is.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a lot of the exact same ones you do. I guess the ones you don't have, like I spoke of before, last podcast and left. If you like serial killers, you should listen to that show, man.
Yeah, I should.
They're
I
comedic
should.
with it. They tell terrible, gruesome stories, and they do their insane amount of research. Read full books and kind of get the same idea of mostly, I would say 90% serial killers. The other 10 is a mixture of crazy religions, crazy UFOs, conspiracy theories, stuff we love. Lore is a good one as well. Lore, Lore, by Aaron Mahnke. Came out last year. It's kind of a 20 to 30 minute weekly show. He tells creepy little stories. If you listen to Lore at all, it's pretty good.
It's well produced.
I do enjoy it.
I like that show.
But I just found this out this week, but they're like way into the episodes, almost 300. The guys that do Last Podcast and Left have a politics show called Abe Lincoln's Top Hat. It's actually pretty good.
That's an awesome name.
It's pretty good.
Kind of wish we'd thought of that.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, a lot of the same ones you have. I do listen to the CNC Geekcast. They were once former members of the ESO network, but now they've gone on to I wouldn't say greener pastures, but different pastures they're on. So yeah, a lot of the exact same ones you have, but those are the ones I have that you do not. And
then you said everything else I do?
For them, I mean, the other ones I have, you had them as well.
But it's funny that you turned me on to some of them that are on there.
Oh,
like the Unbelievable podcast.
Exactly, yeah.
I love
Isn't it great?
The Unbelievable podcast.
It's a good show.
I am an unbeliever.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It really is.
It's kind of the same. It's a little more paranormal stuff like that. But what's cool about that is, and I think we've spoken of it before, they'll bring like a give an example of someone they've had on,
well, there was a couple of weeks ago. There was a guy that could communicate with aliens.
Right? Yeah.
Like he could just sit in a room.
That was so good. Yeah. He'll turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah.
And he'll go into this character.
Discontinue. Discontinue.
So they'll have people that think they're like that from different planets or time travelers, and the guest on the air 100% believes what they are and who they say they are, and they'll have a serious interaction and serious interview with them, and kind of afterwards, once the person hangs up or the interview's over, they'll break it down and tell their thoughts of it. I really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It's a good show.
Yeah, I do love the Unbelievable podcast.
Yeah,
it was the time traveling one.
Right, yeah.
That you turned me on to.
Yeah.
And then the one about the frog.
Oh, yeah. There's so many good
The
ones.
conspiracy frog. What was his name?
Pepe.
Yeah.
So many good ones. I mean, someone out there like, you don't subscribe to my podcast?
Yeah, I can't believe. I thought you listened.
Of course I do.
What? That was just a brief list.
Yeah, it's like just 7/8.
But what you have to remember is I only have so much memory on my phone.
I'm rocking 16 gigs here.
So a lot of times I will
16 gigs.
go and search and just stream the episode without subscribing.
Yeah.
But subscribe to Podcast Roll, please.
Please do it.
Please. The next one comes from PJ.
Oh, we didn't answer our favorite episode of our own show.
Oh, what is our favorite episode of our own show?
I was trying to think of that. I probably shouldn't have brought it up because I don't have an answer.
Yeah, thanks. Favorite episode of this show in 7 years?
That's tricky.
6 years.
6 years, yeah.
That's a lot of shows. we downed a lot of donuts.
Yeah, we did.
We logged a lot of miles training for these shows.
I don't know. That's really tricky.
The Dragon Con episodes are always fun.
Right, they are.
Because it's
you know
always,
what? I'm glad. I'm going to go.
Hey, we're really tired, but here we are at Dragon Con.
My throat hurts and my breath smells of vodka, but I'm here. I'll tell you, I'm going to go to what I do like, but what I'm glad we don't do anymore. I did not like interviews. I don't know why.
You don't like doing
I
interviews?
like phone interviews.
See, I like interviews.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I get bored doing the phone interviews. I can only imagine what the listener sounds or is hearing.
Yeah.
You think so? No?
But we haven't done a lot of interviews.
I know, but every time we did those, I'm just like,
who do we interview?
I mean, no one in a while, but we've had interviews before.
Really?
Oh, you know, we've had interviews, like phone interviews.
On this show?
Yeah.
Who?
I'm not going to name names because that would make them sound or feel bad. It's not their fault. I'm just not a fan. Like, if I listen to a podcast and has two guys in the same room, and they bring in like a phone interview.
Now look, the last interview we did was Bear, and that was fantastic.
That was a fantastic interview.
Yeah.
What happened to Bear?
I don't know. He still
I
hasn't
told you,
responded.
I'm
really concerned. I'm worried.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start a documentary. What happened to Bear?
Yeah.
WWBD, my new
Bear,
bracelet.
just let us know. If you hate us now,
Please.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Just let me know you're alive.
Please. Like,
Yeah.
even on YouTube, no more YouTube videos. What happened?
I don't know.
Bear, where have you
He
gone?
ghosted us.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Good play on words there. So that was a great interview.
Uh-huh.
But other stuff, I don't know. I think I guess we can talk about it now. The Aldrich guys. Remember them? Did you forget about them?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what happened to him. Who are they? Who were
Was
they?
that the thought you had? What?
No, I was thinking about con promoters.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. I don't want to give names, but that kind
What did you say?
The Aldrich guys. You don't remember them?
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. The shooting clerks guys, the Kevin Smith guys.
oh yeah.
That was 2012, 2013?
Yeah, still haven't seen that. But yeah.
Yeah. No, there have been some good interviews. I'll give you that.
But I was thinking con promoters. Like,
exactly. That's the reason I said I don't like so many interviews.
oh, we got
Yeah.
a big show coming up this weekend. We're real excited.
Show a film.
You like Walking Dead? We got 20 walkers.
22. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
But on to the more positive stuff. My favorite episodes? That's
Your favorite
tough.
episode.
That's tough, man.
Oh.
As far as like literally piss my pants fun, the super shows with Josh are always great.
Those are fun.
I mean, as far as like cackling, I hurt for days afterwards in the best way.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I have one.
Yeah.
I can't
I love
name
them all
a
equally.
favorite episode.
I love them all equally.
But those summer shows are
Aren't they fun?
usually
It's just
good.
like guys opening toys in a hot garage.
There's nothing better.
That sounds hot.
I still have my dart gun from the last time we all did a show
Oh,
together.
yeah, nice.
Was that last summer?
Maybe 2 summers ago.
No, it was this last year.
You sure? It was, because that was the same year I got my...
when you gave us these guns
Yeah.
and those wrestlers that are right there.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Those mini wrestlers.
Yeah, we had all kinds of goodies then. Mm-hmm. What do I get this year for Christmas in July? It's funny because I was going to give out Mad Balls to you guys, and now that's kind of done. Everyone has those. I was going to give out fidget spinners. Now everyone has those, too.
Okay.
What's the trend of the month? What can I get you?
Amiibos.
Ooh.
Nintendo announced a whole new line of Amiibos at E3.
Too soon.
They did, yeah.
Really? I actually didn't know
they
that.
did, yeah.
How did I not see that? I guess I have my Amiibo filter. Do you have a gun over there? What is the... What kind of...
Josh, my dart gun's broke.
It's broken.
Yeah, it's hard. I can't name a favorite
I can't
episode.
name one. Good try,
I'll
though.
say what you said.
Good try, Isaac. The summer specials.
Anytime we have a bunch of people, that's always fun.
By the way, in studio is different than the phone interview. I feel like every time we've had someone in studio, it's a fantastic, if you want to call that interview or a guest on the show, that's fun.
Yeah.
But in the phone,
What do we? Yeah, I mean, other than con promoter, I can't think of. Well, we had like our second show, we did a phone interview
with a real person
with
or
MC
with a
Frontalot.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That was good. Yeah,
that was good.
I thought you meant the character.
No, that was me.
That was me.
That was pre-recorded. Let's go on to the next one.
Let's do it.
And maybe I'll come back. Maybe I can think of a favorite episode.
Yeah, possibly.
From PJ, hey, talk some wrestling. Thanks.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That just happened?
Talk some wrestling.
Okay. It's funny, this week there were new rounds. A lot of my friends and family, mostly rednecks, I can say that because they're family, but they were sharing the link again in tears because Dusty Rhodes died again.
But he's already dead.
I'm like, that was 2 years ago. Like, oh man, it's still sad. Whatever. That's my wrestling talk.
Yeah, Malcolm Dream.
Yeah. I missed wrestlers wearing cowboy boots. That's what I missed.
Do you?
Yeah, seeing Dusty do that, like kicking some ass with his big purple sweet tater on his side and his cowboy boots.
Like old Stone Cold.
Yeah, did he ever have cowboy
Nah,
boots?
he didn't wear cowboy
Yeah,
boots.
just the knee braces and the black
Like Dick
boots.
Murdoch.
Yeah, Big Dick Murdoch.
Yeah. He did wear cowboy boots.
Yeah, like that.
His son did too.
Yeah. We're talking wrestling here. The guy asked for it. PJ asked for it. Most underrated wrestler of all time, honestly. Underrated. That had the talent, had the mic skills, could have been the top, but for some reason or another, he wasn't there.
Dolph Ziggler.
That's a good point. Good call.
Dolph Ziggler.
I like that.
Underused today.
Yeah.
To this day.
True.
You know, had everything that you need, and just never got the right story or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Fantastic choice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say Dolph Ziggler. Next, Ken Kennedy.
I thought you would say that. That's a good one, too.
I think that was his fault.
Yeah. Favorite WrestleMania moment?
What about yours?
Oh, mine? Oh. Man, that's a good... Dolph Ziggler's a good one. I know he's heralded now as one of the greatest. I think as time goes on, he's thought of better than he was at the time. But at the time, he was just a very short, few-time champion, but the majority of his career was in the IC realm. I think Macho Man could have been the Hulk Hogan of his day if Hulk Hogan wasn't there.
Yeah, but
he didn't have enough time. Like there was not enough. Like comparatively to what the championship reigns, he was mostly in the IC world because he had the time with Hogan and.
But
soon
what he
after,
did with Intercontinental Champion was
I know, and he took it to the next level. That's what I'm saying. Imagine what he could have done with the World.
He
Championship.
legitimized that belt.
Imagine the World Championship though. If he had more time with that instead of the feud dying because of Warrior comes in, I think he could have. And even in his WCW days, I know he had the title there, but I think Macho Man could have been more. I know right now, people love him. YouTube is huge with his promos and stuff, but at the time, one of the big hitters, maybe for 2 or 3 years, but Hogan had decades. Mm-hmm. I don't think Macho Man had decades, and he should have. That's what I think. He was huge.
Yeah.
Could have been huger.
I agree with you.
I think so.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I could see that.
Yeah.
He probably should have
Definitely wasn't,
he should have been. But at that time, though, there's no way. I mean, who else? Who else was there but Hogan?
Yeah.
Anybody else that had the belt was just...
Canyon?
Who better than Hogan?
Yeah.
Horace Hogan.
But, I mean, Ziggler's a great example because he even struggles to be at IC level, and he should be at world champ level.
He should.
Yeah.
He should have been the world champ for a long time.
That is a better answer, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I know it's a little weird to say this. Mm-hmm. I think they kind of, and probably it was half one side, half the other, but I think CM Punk probably could have been bigger than he was during his run before he left.
I believe.
I mean, I know he was their main guy.
Yeah.
But was he their main guy?
For a while.
But was he really the main guy?
The Summer of Punk.
The Summer of Punk, but even then, he didn't have the title.
Right. Yeah, it was the chase.
He was going for it.
It's always better than the catch.
But I think Punk kind of rose as Cena was still in that position, and so it would be hard to...
I mean, since day one of the WWF, it seems, under the Vince McMahon era, whoever appeals to the kids more is the moneymaker and the top guy, and CM Punk is not for the kids, except for that small 6-year span for The Rock and Austin. But the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Not for the kids. But for the most part, your Bret Harts, your Hulk Hogan's, your John Cena's, those are all kids' vehicles, and I just don't think CM Punk could do that. I don't know. I think that's... I don't know. He was big, but not as big as he could have, like you said.
Yeah. Is there a pay-per-view this weekend?
Probably.
Oh, Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Money in the Bank, Adam. We should go to that theater and watch it.
That's possible.
Uh-huh.
That's possible.
Yeah.
We could do that.
We could. Or just sit at home and watch it on the network.
You still have that?
I think we still have it.
Oh, man. I don't subscribe to it.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah, we haven't yet.
Well, the only time it was one big pay-per-view, or maybe the Rumble or Survivor Series, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use it. And I tried to watch it, and the stream was so choppy and broken, I couldn't do it. I was pissed. Have you noticed that for the big pay-per-views? It's a bad connection.
Well, there's a lot of people. That's the only time people are watching it.
Yeah.
Anytime else, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when people are actually watching at the same time, it gets a little choppy. What's the entrance, the wrestler that you love so much that just came up?
Kensuke Nakamura.
Can you spell that for me?
Yes. Actually, just do Nakamura. Nakamura. You see it?
It finished.
Nakamura. There you go.
I just wanted to hear his music because I forgot what it sounded like.
It's a violin, and it's fantastic. And sometimes he has a live violinist. That's the word I'll use. And it's fantastic.
I don't know. This seems like it's from SmackDown, though.
Yeah. It's coming.
Wait, this was against John Cena?
When? When did that happen?
It says two-time NXT champion Nakamura debuts on SmackDown April 4th, 2017. And John Cena's in the ring with his wife. Or girlfriend. Or fiance.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool.
That is crazy. Not the music, but just the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
This guy speaks no English, right?
Very, very broken. Very broken.
But seems so charismatic.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to play a little of his music.
Isn't he
It's
great?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura. Great, awesome in-ring talent, too. Very cool. I think that's what we need. I mean, if that can be such a draw and have literally zero mic skills, that's a pretty big deal. The art of storytelling in the ring could be coming back.
So, does he have the best theme right now?
I think so.
Really?
I think you think someone else does.
Yeah, I think somebody else does.
You think Finn Balor does?
Yeah.
Really?
I really do.
Wow.
Maybe I just like the orchestral themes.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think he does have the best theme right now.
You think he does? Over Nakamura? Come on.
I think so.
Come on.
So there, PJ. We talked some wrestling.
Yeah, we did. Played some songs for
Play
you.
some thong songs. Or thong songs.
Play the thong song.
Play the thong song. Thong song.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, here's where we're at. We are over 40 minutes into this episode.
Wow. Well, sadly, we have to talk very little of Thor.
Well, we can.
Yeah.
Or we can save Thor for another day.
Right.
And we'll just take a break and then come back and just chat for 15 more minutes.
We could do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that next.
Hey everyone, this amazing ESO Network show is brought to you by our fine sponsor, Amazon.com. Please remember to shop Amazon for all your geeky needs, no matter what time of the year it is. All you need to do is go to esopodcast.com/ESO Amazon, or click on the Amazon banner on the ESO Network webpage to go to our e-store. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, that's enough of me babbling for now. Now on with your regular scheduled show.
Don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't.
Welcome back to Podcast Roll.
Well, this is off the cuff.
Sorry, I guess we were a little long with our SOB OTW.
It happens, you know.
This is the first time we've had something scheduled that we bumped.
That's true.
Our apologies to Thor. We've had to bump him for timing. He'll be back.
Last week was
next week.
a random return of Gamers Corner. Now this. What's next? Is a high five coming back? Winners and losers? What's going to happen?
Win here, win there.
I don't even know.
So you flew to Hawaii.
Right.
Which took how long?
About 9 hours. Had to fly an hour and a half from here to Chicago, then 9 hours to Hawaii.
You flew with your wife.
Right.
Anytime I've ever flown, it's always been me and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fly until I'd never stepped foot on a plane. Even small plane, nothing, until my honeymoon. Mm-hmm. And then we flew to Orlando. Coming up in a few weeks, in 43 years, I've never had to board a plane alone. And I'm going to do it twice coming up.
Oh, yeah.
In the next few weeks.
For
the first time, at the age of 43, I'm going to fly by myself.
Wow. I've never done it myself either, so.
Yeah. I'm a little apprehensive.
It could be interesting, a little scary.
I mean, I was quizzing my wife. I'm like, so what if I don't make it to the what if I don't make it in time to the gate? What happens? Just make it in time. Well, should I ask for help?
For help. Help me.
Is the nice security guard going to help me if I get lost? Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make gate 43. Do you think the pilot will let me come up and fly the plane?
Yeah.
If it's my first time flying by myself.
I don't think so. I'm not so sure. We have a special person on the plane today. Mr. JP. It's his first time on the plane by himself. Everyone give a round of applause for him.
Do you think he'll let me sit in his lap?
Maybe. You like the old Tommy Boy sketch and like take the stewardess way and they're doing the things in the aisles. How did that happen? That would never happen in a post 9/11 world, right?
Oh no, not at all. They would be terrorists.
Yeah, exactly. Tommy Boy's a terrorist. Little Tom Callahan's a terrorist now.
He's a big dumb idiot, isn't he, folks?
Wow. So how far?
Will they give me some wings?
Like hot wings or like wings on your? Oh,
like lapel wings.
That's possible. Yeah,
yeah,
that's possible.
They still do that.
Like Crystal Bernard. That's her name, right?
Sandpiper Air?
Yeah, that's
Was
it.
that the name of the airline?
Maybe so.
No, that wasn't it. Was it?
With Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, with Tony Shalhoub, Crystal Bernard,
Tim Daly,
who would go on to voice Superman
Oh, yeah.
in the comic books,
And the guy from The New Shining.
and Sandman was in there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Lowell.
Lowell.
Wow.
Lowell was my favorite character.
Why? Oh, yeah, of
On
course. Yeah,
Wings.
yeah. Wow, this is the Wings cast.
Hey, welcome to Wingscast.
How far is the flight? Like hour, time-wise?
4 hours
Uh-huh.
there,
Yeah.
and then
That's
4
still
hours back.
That's still a hefty flight.
It's not bad.
After a certain time, though, in that 9-hour flight, you just accept your fate.
You just assume you're going to make it.
Yeah, it's all blur. I don't know why that was, but it was all blur like, over the ocean, the water. There's no sight. You're just there, and you accept it. Like that hum of the engine is part of your body.
What if you hear that go out?
There's always another
What if
one.
you hear
right?
it sputter a little bit and
There's
then go
always-
out?
There's some hard. You won't. No, you may pass it. They'll tell you beforehand that turbulence like, over the Rockies.
Uh-huh.
You'll pass that going that way.
Yeah, I've flown to Vegas
Right.
before. I'm flying
Yeah.
into Vegas.
Okay.
I've flown to Vegas before.
Yeah, and they warn you before it happens. You don't think you're ultimately dying.
I don't think I'll fly. I think no, I won't fly over the Rockies.
Really?
Right? I won't.
I didn't think I would, but from Chicago to, I guess sure that angle from Chicago to Hawaii, maybe I did, but I don't know.
Maybe. Where'd you land?
What do you mean, like
Chicago to Chicago
to
to Hawaii.
Yeah, to Hawaii. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Should I fly over there? I don't think I'll fly over.
Are you
the
going
Rockies.
straight from Nashville to
It's
Vegas?
one way. Nashville to Vegas.
You may dip below that, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
As they have to turn into the airport in Las Vegas.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
What's that
though.
called? What's the name of the airport in Las Vegas?
I have no idea.
I used to know it.
I have no clue.
The Dean Martin International Airport?
That's it. Yeah. The
DML?
The Nicolas Cage gets married. He had a lot of those movies in Vegas movies, right? Which ones did he have? I used to love them as a kid. The one with the
Honeymoon in Vegas.
Was that the Flying Elvis movie?
That was the Flying Elvis.
What's the other one? I always get that mixed up with.
The one with Elizabeth Shue in it.
But he got married in Vegas again, right?
That had not Paul Newman.
Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
I had no idea, but I just guessed because we get those mixed up.
Yeah, Robert Redford was it.
Uh-huh.
No, that was Woody Harrelson.
Was it? That's
yeah,
when he had
that wasn't Nicolas Cage.
Really?
That was
He-
Woody Harrelson.
Didn't he have sex with Demi Moore?
Leaving Las Vegas
Right.
was Elizabeth Shue and Nicolas Cage.
Is that the Flying Elvis?
That's Honeymoon in Vegas.
So he had Leaving Las Vegas and Honeymoon, in Vegas. Not
yeah.
related whatsoever.
One was a romantic comedy. One was a drama. He got nominated for an Oscar for for Leaving Las Vegas.
But Honeymoon in Vegas is the okay.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody did a cover of an Elvis song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
Vince Gill did.
Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas. or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
I used to-
Honeymoon in Vegas.
Okay, Sarah Jessica Parker
Yes.
with what's his name? The man, because there's a guy sees her, finds her attractive, offers Nicolas Cage money to have her for one night or a weekend, right?
Wait a minute. Is this the same Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson
That's
movie?
what I'm saying.
It's the same one.
That's what I'm saying.
That's Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson,
Okay.
and Robert Redford.
We're checking this out here. I'm looking up Honeymoon in Vegas. What's the name of the movie you're talking about?
You're talking about in Khan. His last name's Khan.
James Caan.
James
Yeah,
Caan.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's Honeymoon in Vegas. It's the same plot.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Is it?
I'm going to read you the plot for Honeymoon
Let's hear
in
the
Vegas
plot synopsis
from
of
1992.
Honeymoon in Vegas.
Oh, so okay, here we go. This may be long, but hang with me. Jack Singer, which is Nicolas Cage, has sworn to his mother while she was okay. So I don't know this one. Maybe I do. Has sworn on his mother on her deathbed he would never get married. Years later, he goes back on his promise and proposes to his girlfriend Betsy, played by Sarah Jessica Parker, and quickly arranges a Las Vegas marriage. They check into the Bailey's Hotel. Before the wedding, however, a wealthy professional gambler, Tommy Corman, played by Khan, sees Betsy and notices a striking resemblance to his beloved late wife. He arranges a crooked poker game where Jack borrows $65,000 after being dealt a straight flush, only to lose to the gambler's higher straight flush. Tommy, however, promises to erase the debt if he can spend the weekend with Singer's fiancée.
What? That's crazy.
What is that? Do you have the other one?
I'm looking it up. Hang on.
Isn't that weird? So what's the other movie? I'm so confused right now.
Because that is definitely a romantic comedy.
Right. Didn't Nicolas Cage have a movie about getting married in Hawaii as well, or in Vegas as well?
That's Honeymoon in Vegas. That's Nicolas Cage.
But was there another one besides?
Leaving Las Vegas was not about him getting married. It was about him being a drunk in Vegas.
But there is another movie with the exact same storyline to that.
Yes, and I'm finding that right now. It came out in the mid-'90s.
James Caan's still alive, huh? Man, he was old and
James Caan still kicking.
he was old and look who's talking.
James kicking Caan.
Wow.
What am I looking for here?
Wasn't he the dad and look who's talking? He was, right?
James Caan?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure he's the deadbeat dad.
Okay, I've gone too far.
I've gone too far here.
When was the movie I'm thinking of?
He played the role, this is James Caan, played the role of Big Ed DeLine in the television series Las Vegas from 03 to 06.
Yeah, James Caan just kind of has that Vegas.
I guess so, yeah.
That Vegas swagger.
Wow. He has 4 ex-wives.
He does?
Yeah.
Indecent Proposal, starring Robert Redford, Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson.
Uh-huh.
And Billy Bob Thornton's in that movie. Billy Connolly's in that movie. Rip Taylor's in that movie.
This is the exact same movie.
Here is the plot. A billionaire offers $1 million. A billionaire offers $1 million to a young married couple for one night with the wife. Indecent Proposal.
That's Honeymoon. What year did that come out?
That would have been
93, right? Yeah. Because Honeymoon in Vegas is late 92.
What is the year on this?
It says 93.
Is it 93?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Wow.
They have basically the same plot.
I've always gotten those mixed up for that reason there.
One a serious Demi Moore movie.
Yeah.
One romantic comedy with James Caan and Nicolas Cage.
You're right, though. The soundtrack was composed on Honeymoon in Vegas, mainly of covers of Elvis Presley songs performed by many contemporary artists, such as Viva Las Vegas by Bruce Springsteen, Hound Dog by Jeff Beck, Are You Lonesome Tonight by Brian Ferry, How About Heartbreak Hotel by Billy Joel, Jailhouse Rock by John Mellencamp, Suspicious Minds by Dwight Yoakam, Burning Love by Travis Tritt.
I'm just a hunk of burning love.
Weird, Vince Gill and Amy Grant side by side in the track listing, yet they weren't together yet, eh?
Huh.
How odd.
Interesting.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Chapman.
I have the synopsis for Leaving Las Vegas.
Please give me that, too.
Ben Sanderson, a Hollywood screenwriter who lost everything because of his alcoholism, arrives in Las Vegas to drink himself to death. There, he meets and forms an uneasy friendship and non-interference pact with prostitute Sierra. That's Elizabeth Shue.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. Back on the Honeymoon in Vegas soundtrack, though. Oddly enough, 2 songs are on there by Peter Boyle.
Really?
Yeah. And I checked it, the Peter Boyle sings 2 songs, Elvis songs, that I've never heard of.
Is one of them Putting on the Ritz?
No. Happy Talk? I've never heard of Happy Talk. Or Bali High? I don't know these songs at all. But Peter Boyle sings these Elvis songs on the Honeymoon in Vegas soundtrack. And that's what you get when we have random talks.
What's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Ooh. Besides Raising Arizona?
Yes.
Man, that's tough. Give me a little.
Wicker Man.
Nope.
Lord of War.
Adaptation.
Adaptation is good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Adaptation is good.
That's actually a good movie. I like that one a lot.
What's the one where the world ends?
Which one?
It's a more recent one. Well, more recent being in the last 10 years.
Like you see it end, or he's like about to...
Like the end of the movie, the world ends. And no one believes him. I want to say that perhaps it was based off that 2012 Mayan calendar thing.
Oh, really? But it wasn't 2012?
But it wasn't 2012.
While we're thinking about this, though, because we had this moment a lot, I'm a big fan of Reddit, of course, and I just found recently a subreddit called... so go to reddit.com/r/tip-of-my-tongue. You go on there and get the most discreet interpretation of anything you can remember, no matter what it is, and within minutes, someone guesses what it is, and they're always right. The Tip of My Tongue subreddit. It's insane. Like, I'm thinking of a movie where a guy does this and wears a blank-colored shirt, and within minutes, someone's like this one, and they're right.
Really?
The Tip of My Tongue subreddit. There's even a game version called The Tip of My Joystick. Not as gross as it sounds.
So
You can do that with these questions you have. Go on Reddit, post that on there. Within minutes, someone's going to tell you what it is.
And someone would guess what it is.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just go in there and try it out sometimes. It's crazy. Nicolas Cage movie where the world ends is what I'm Googling.
Not Left Behind. I forgot he was in that.
Oh, I heard that's really terrible. Knowing.
That's it. MIT professor links a mysterious list of numbers from a time capsule to past and future disasters and sets out to prevent the ultimate catastrophe. knowing.
It's funny you said that was recent, but it was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, I said within the last 10 years. So we're flying to. So I got to fly to Vegas by myself. Meet up with the rest of the family that afternoon, which means there's going to be a few hours where I'm on the streets of Las Vegas by myself.
Oh, that's not dangerous at all. Wow.
I'm just gonna go check out Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
This sounds like the plot of a movie, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah.
Guy flies into Vegas to meet his family.
Yeah.
Never seen from again.
It really does.
And then later we're gonna go and see some stuff on the West Coast, and then I'll actually fly out of San Diego back here.
Really?
2 weeks before Dragon Con or Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con.
Oh wow! Wow!
Yeah, I'll be in San Diego around the time of Comic Con.
Around it, yeah.
Just not during.
At least you'll be gone before that. That would be insane.
That would be insane.
On there's a list, the 50 best end of the world movies on IMDb.com. Oddly enough, 2012 is number one.
No, that's a terrible movie.
I didn't make the list, man.
Is it just like in release order?
No.
Let me see if I can guess some others on the list.
Okay.
Independence Day.
This is a 50 list, so let me see. Let me do a search here. Hold on.
It's not in the top 5?
No, it's not. Independence Day is not on there at all.
Planet of the Apes.
Let's see.
Which is technically the world ending.
Survey says that is number 12. And Rise of the Planet of the Apes is number 13.
Is this just theatrical movies?
I would imagine.
So the day after.
For the record, some of these are questionable. Number 11 is Jumanji.
What? What's the one
Wait a
where
minute.
the ice caps melt? The Day After Tomorrow.
That's got to be on here.
Yeah.
I don't understand some of these. Number 10 is Green Lantern. Does the world end in Green Lantern?
That shouldn't be on any list with the word best in front of it.
I want to give you the list. Here we go, just quickly.
Okay.
Number 1, 2012. Number 2, The Road. Never saw it, actually.
Every road. Oh, sorry, that's Rose.
Don't go down that road. Number 3, War of the Worlds.
That's a good one.
A Steven Spielberg movie.
That's pretty good.
Number 4.
Tom Cruise is in that.
Number 4, 28 Days Later. Number 5 is 28 Weeks Later.
So far, that 28 Days Later should be number 1.
Think so? Really?
I think so. Of the ones that's been said so far.
You may change your mind on this one. Number 6 is Battleship. Which, damn, what year do you think that movie came out?
That was 2012.
2012. Mm-hmm. It's been 5 years since that joke of a movie came out.
Rihanna, Liam Neeson.
We're up there plonking. Number 7 is Legion. Remember Legion?
Wow.
Number 8, Children of Men. Number 9, the first movie I've never heard of on this list, Daybreakers. Never heard of Daybreakers, 2009.
Oh, Daybreakers. They're the vampire zombies.
Exactly. In the year 2019, a plague has transformed almost every human into vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I Am Legend should be on here.
Yeah, I Am Legend.
Pretty high above Green Lantern,
pretty high.
which is number 10, followed by Jumanji, number 11, 12, Planet of the Apes, and then Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Number 14 is Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, 2012.
I've seen that. That's a fun movie.
Really?
With Steve Carell.
Number 15, which I guess...
Right, Steve Carell?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Number 15, which is right, just maybe the last 10 seconds of it, but The Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
Number 16, The Crazies.
Oh, The Crazies is pretty good.
Number 17, The Mist.
Ah, The Mist is good.
So many of these. So we had The Cabin in the Woods, The Crazies, The Mist, then The Day, and then number 19, The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, that's a terrible movie. That's a terrible movie.
Yeah. Number 20, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Number 21.
That's pretty good. The original The Day the Earth Stood Still? Or the remake?
It's a remake of the 51 classic from 2008.
Well, why would the original not be on there?
I don't know. Number 21, The Happening.
No.
I'm serious. Number 22,
What?
Reign of Fire.
Who made this list? This is an Internet Movie Database.
Yeah. Number 23, Sunshine. Number 24, The Birds. Number 25.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hitchcock is lower than
Jumanji.
The Day After Tomorrow.
And Green Lantern. Number 25. This is an end of the world movie, but it could have happened. Dogma.
Huh.
Weird, huh?
That is a good movie.
Number 26 from 2012. It looks like a Netflix original. Cockneys versus Zombies.
Never seen it.
Number 27 is Zombieland. Number 28, the original 1968 Night of the Living Dead. Number 29 in the best End of the World movies ever is 2004. That's right, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. Almost said Shaun. Number 30.
Shaun of the Dead's not on there?
Not yet. Number 30 is...
How many of these?
We have 20 more.
Okay.
Number 30 is Immortals. We're going to fly by this. Then The Reaping. Number 32 is we're talking about. That is from 2005, Fantastic Four.
What?
How's that End of the World? Then we have The Fifth Element.
I'm trying to think.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In the Mouth of Madness. Knowing is number 36.
That's a terrible movie. I've just seen it.
Number 37, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Then The Matrix. Then 12 Monkeys. Then Miracle Mile at 40. So we're in the bottom 10.
The Matrix is lower than 2012. Like 2012 is number 1.
Yeah. It's about 30 spots below 2012, actually.
The Cusack movie.
Yeah. Not saying best movie, but best end of the world movie. There's a difference.
The guys that did Independence Day did 2012. Like
Really?
Independence Day should be. That's what they're going to go with. Then make that number 1.
Right.
It's a better movie.
Final 10, Miracle Mile, Time of the Wolf, A Boy and His Dog, The Day After. Honestly, should be higher to me.
That was a TV miniseries.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Or a TV movie.
Yeah, 83 TV movie. A graphic, disturbing film about the effects of a devastating nuclear holocaust on small-town residents of eastern Kansas. We watched this senior year of high school.
Starring Steve Guttenberg.
Terrifying. That's true. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
The Rapture, and then Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
That's lower than Jumanji?
Yeah. Number 46 is Wall-E, then Melancholia, then On the Beach. Number 49, The Last Wave, and number 50, 1978's Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Wow. I disagree with that
I didn't expect that to go so long. I'm sorry. Are you giving a selfie over there? What's going on?
No, I'm looking. This is how I look at my phone now. Care to guess who else is in The Day After?
Who's that?
Jason Robards.
Who's that?
Jason Robards. If you saw him, you know.
Like a pie? Like a rhubarb pie?
Jo Beth Williams.
Jo Beth?
Jo Beth. Yeah,
But she has 2 male names, but 1 female name.
What's that all about?
It was like what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis? Because she was born a Hermie. I'm bringing the Hermes back.
What? You can't say that.
You can't say Hermes? Is Hermie bad?
I don't think that is bad.
You can't
Steve, see what happens when we don't plan?
Yeah.
Steve Guttenberg.
Right.
John Lithgow was in this movie.
In The Day After?
In The Day After.
No way. Mm-hmm. But he's always a villain of some sort. What could he have done wrong?
Maybe he pressed the button that launched the bombs.
It's true, yeah.
You can see it now at IMDb.
But going back, we'll keep it PC. But do you remember the urban legend that Jamie Lee Curtis was named that because they didn't know when she was born if she was a male or female? So she used the term Jamie Lee Curtis, and that could be used for male or female. If you saw a guy named Jamie Lee Curtis, you wouldn't think twice about it.
Okay.
You may now.
I've never heard that.
Really?
I'm hearing that.
Yeah.
You say, you remember? No.
Yeah, it's an old urban legend
that
like when she was born, they either she had both parts, or they didn't know which part she had.
Interesting.
And to this day, they thought maybe she had 2 parts, like the old 2009 Lady Gaga rumors. Remember those days?
I do remember those days.
The same idea, but back in the 70s, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Do you remember? Do you know who her dad is?
Tony, right?
Hey, it's Tony Curtis. Hey, it's Tony Curtis. Hollywood Babylon.
That's how we do random episodes.
Well, that was fun.
I'm spent.
Coming up next week,
a little more structure.
We'll talk about Thor.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
More Thor. Less movies about the end of the world.
I've been running all day. I'm Thor.
No, I'm Thor. Until then, hey, if you want to be the SOB OTW, we could do it again next week.
All I have to do. It's simple as that. Hey, talk wrestling. Hey, what's your favorite Mad Ball? Hey, what's your favorite Amiibo?
Name 5 flavors of crayons.
If you had to eat a pizza, flavors, wow. If you had to eat a pizza, it could have 2 ingredients. But you had to eat this pizza the rest of your life. What 2 ingredients do you choose? I would think go some pineapple to get some fruit nutrition. That's all you're eating. If you go your whole life with no vitamin C, you may die.
I would think gold bullion and $100 bills.
All right. Good call. Good call. I like it.
I'll just pick off the toppings that I don't want to
eat. In your pocket.
Yeah.
Good call. You have a nice cheese pizza and a good heavy wallet.
Yeah, you would.
It's a win-win.
That sounds delicious. Go to adamandjp.com.
Please do.
You can email us from there.
Check out Instagram and Vine at Adam and JP. I figured since we're doing the old throwbacks, I can tell you to check out our Vine account.
Go to our Vine page. Vine is done.
It actually is done.
Like officially done.
Yeah.
Nail.
How did that happen?
Coffin.
I mean, that was huge. Like, that made some millions. I mean, people were getting 6 figures a year off of their Vine videos.
How?
And out of nowhere, it's dead. How does that work out?
Maybe they were embezzling the money.
Maybe so. You remember the days of Meerkat? The days of the live streaming services? I mean, now Facebook Live is a thing. It's kind of killed it, but Periscope and Meerkat, they were big.
Periscope's still a thing.
Are people still Periscoping?
Yeah.
What's the point? You have Facebook Live.
I don't know. But my niece was Periscoping our dog.
Really?
When she was up.
So it's still a thing. It's all Periscope.
And people watch it.
Really?
Because they were commenting.
Well, I mean, you know.
It was a dog.
I know. A dog and a girl. I mean, come on. You know, for those people, those guys, come on.
Hey, do you remember? You may not remember this. This will be the last random thing I bring up. When I was a kid, the rich kids had special magic markers. And their magic markers, they weren't, first of all, they weren't called magic markers because that's a brand name. Like Corolla. No. Crayola's magic markers. They had markers. And then when they would take the top off, they were scented.
Oh, yeah. I do.
They smelled like chocolate pudding.
I never had the pudding. I think that was your pencil holder marker. Did you ever have it called a pencil holder?
Wait, are you talking about the rectangular?
I'm talking about your butt crack.
No. Never referred to my butt crack.
No, like
as a pencil holder.
I've seen men working the outdoors, and they're actually.
Wait, are you asking if I've ever heard that, or have I ever used
both?
Use your butt crack as a pencil holder?
Yeah, it's, growing up, I knew before I knew the term butt crack, I knew it as a pencil holder, and I would see my dad, uncles, grandparents putting pencils in their butt crack.
Why?
It's nature's way. When you get home or you're home, when I leave, please wait until I leave. Put a pencil in there.
No, I won't.
Thank me later. It's not mechanical. You don't want that rim, that ridge on there. A nice smooth number 2.
So these markers would smell like grape.
Yeah.
Like lemon pie.
I'm just saying, just put your pencil in your holder. I'm serious. You keep going. I'm gonna look up here.
Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Dear Google.
Pencil holder. Well, that's stupid. Actual pencil holders come up. That's absurd.
What did you expect?
A butt crack.
That's not what you search if that's what you want to see.
And that's funny.
What?
They actually have like little butt cracks you can put pencils in, but that's not what I'm looking for. Anyways, the term a pencil holder was a real thing in my childhood.
Never heard it.
Okay.
Check us out online at adamandjp.com.
Facebook.com/AdamandJP. Patreon.com/podcastroll.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
You've been eating a lot of your podcast roll, and I'm proud of you.
This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at ESONetwork.com.